Oh shit. Well,
Hello?
you're still alive and I can hear you on the call. Oh shit, your stream's back.
Huh? I think I quit the wrong thing. Back. I think this bot is absolutely fucked.
Oh my god.
This one's going in the vault. Wait, I got something for you. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Wait, where are you?
What's up?
Where did you go?
I'm
there you are.
What are you talking about? Wait, what?
See?
What?
She forced me to end stream with those incantations.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
no.
You literally just clicked the wrong thing! What the heck? I'm being booed? Bad stream? What? I didn't even do nothing.
All right.
Oh, man. Did I time out your stream? No, I didn't. Oh, no. I'm being accused of timing out your own stream now. I won't even do that. What?
Hold, please. Hold, please. I'm fetching something.
There's no freaking way. What could she possibly be cooking now?
I'm fetching something.
I am mildly concerned.
Actual footage.
Oh, of the charge rifling?
Actual footage, chat. I want you to recognize this. Of Yura and I.
Huh?
Sorry, I wasn't quite prepared for this joke. Hold, please. I wasn't entirely prepared for this joke.
Holding.
Just chill the fuck out for a second.
Why am I being accused of gaslighting my stream? I'm being bullied, gaslit, girl boss, and lied to by both chats, apparently. It's not even— oh my goodness, sorry. I gotta raid 1 second.
All right, that right there. I'll put it in Discord to save you the trouble. Right there. Actual photograph of Yura and I. Do you see? Do you see the wickedness? Do you see the possessiveness?
Oh. What am I being—
I'm holding on for dear life. Do you see that tongue?
huh? What? Isn't that just some artwork by Lamb?
Actual photograph.
What? That's just a fun— I actually really like that piece by Lamb, but what the fuck? That's not me!
Exhibit A. Every time we stream. That's a power move, that hand on my cheek. It's a very real photograph. Lamb is such a good fucking artist. It is a very sexy power move, actually. I made the mistake of taking my meds at the time I'm supposed to take them, so my nose has been dripping ever since. I have to keep muting to sniffle.
I have to keep muting to cough from all the years off my life I've had shaven from this—
Shaven.
from all this charge rifling— I don't know. I don't even know what I want to call it anymore. Vile axe doesn't even cut it anymore.
Here, we've got actual Yura. There, see, there's a label on it. How can it possibly be lying now?
Why are we captioning this now? What? Why are we captioning this?
It's, I mean, I didn't make it up. It's literally, hold on. It's literally right there in the photograph.
You're literally captioning as we speak. What are you talking about? What?
I know. I was surprised too.
It's in the fine print.
Yeah. See?
That fine print is actually strangely bolted and outlined. What sort of fine print is this? Man, fine print isn't really printed the same no more these days, huh?
Look at that. There's even an arrow.
What? Okay, that definitely wasn't there. What?
Pointing straight at her. Like, you can't make this shit up.
Why am I being pointed at and captioned? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? What did I even do wrong? Where did I go wrong? Let me take a second to get to my just chatting screen.
I think one of the best decisions I made was making my, was adding Fugi to my just chatting. I'm very happy about that.
It is a good addition. Also, why are there so many? Oh, I remember why.
Relic Sakusa, welcome, welcome. Very nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for finding me. I'm hanging out with the amazing Yura VT, who you should follow because she's super cool. It's down below, but I'll give you a shout out too. I'm relentless. I tease my friends a lot. And then eventually they stop answering the phone.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Eventually they stop picking up the phone. And I'm left to be all alone. I tease my friends. Yura times them out.
Listen. I just got an ad, but anyway.
What, to me?
It appears so.
Oh no.
It's the Apple. What the heck is this? Apple goggles? Apple lens? I forgot what it was called.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Vision Pro. I get it wrong every single attempt. Okay.
The Vision. Apple Vision. Apple Vision.
Ah. Something like that.
Soon, everyone the world over will be connected to our Apple Vision. And they will be ours. Oh my god, I got an ad. Let's go. The only person in my chat excited to get ads is Misfortune.
Let's go, ads! Woo!
Corn, sir, welcome. Yay. See, if I clap, my mouth opens.
A clap is coming out of your mouth. What the heck? Impressive.
I try. Where did we end up? I ended up, where am I? Still 3. Oh no. Gold 3 at about 450. Clapping with lips. Yeah, I'm just smacking my lips very loudly. Yum, yum, yum.
Actually, Relix made a really good note so that, you know, you are a voice actress, so it just goes to show that, yeah, these would all come out of your Fugi's mouth, right?
Oh, you can't hear that because Discord is blanking it out. Hang on, have some more.
Huh? Chat, what's happening? What's happening?
I love how on both versions of your Fugi, your left side of your mustache is longer.
Kind
of.
Listen, I had a mild curling iron incident, and I accidentally straightened out one of my stashes. Okay, it didn't curl the way I wanted it to, so now one just is longer.
Yo, your background's hella cool. I love this. You got a blue background with the white with the shapes, and I got a red background with the white and the shapes.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That sentence made sense. I hope. Your time counts, though. My time doesn't have seconds.
I use this widget called Snaz.
Snaz?
Snaz. I can actually just send you the files if you like, eventually.
Ooh.
Yeah, basically it just like has all the time that writes itself to a text file, and they can just output that text file wherever you would like on your stream.
I might take advantage of that. I have the
handy dandy.
on mine. I've got the tiny little bibba time up on the top right. In military time, of course.
24-hour clock, all superior, of course.
Yes, of course. Wow, it is almost 3 a.m. for you. Take care, Miss Fortune. Oh, you still have a Damien Verde. I see you hiding back there.
Hey, fucking yo.
Hello, Misty. We did okay. We started at barely gold, what, 4?
I think we basically started at like the very start of like gold 4, more or less.
So we did mediocre.
Okay, well, it was progress.
I assume that every rank is going to get slower, surely, right?
It depends on the matchmaking, but based on the matchmaking right now, it's really weird. So like there's gonna be a gentle slope upwards, but it's not really gonna be too bad, I think, for a while. Not until you hit like, I want to say like mid diamond.
Master's push, let's go.
It's really weird at the moment, like really weird. So it's kind of hard to say exactly where we'd end up. I think it largely depends on who we have as a third. So if we keep playing with Colorfinger, then it should be pretty. I think it'll be a reasonably gentle slope upwards. This season's really fucking weird. So yeah.
It's been there's the good and the bad. You know, like those early picks might get you some points faster previously, but also I definitely noticed the couple of times I tried ranked, I would end up with like -12 RP. And like my teammate would have gained 100 because they were just that much better at the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think, oh man, it's kind of hard to talk about the rank system right now because I feel like, well,
oh, why do I still have a content warning blood on my screen?
Yeah, I don't know if you've been like keeping up with the discourse in regards to rank, but it's just it's kind of weird to about, I guess. Like, I think the placement system is pretty good for people who I think it's good for Smurfs to be placed like higher up, I suppose, but like closer to where they should be. But outside of that, I feel like the changes have been kind of lukewarm, to say the least. Yeah. This season of ranked is it's just very strange and unique. Yeah.
It's been a fun learning experience, though. Mostly, it's been learning how to live.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I think one of the. I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but like one of the few good things that have come out of the system is that like it does promote like because like previously with the older rank system, like anywhere from like rookie up to like I wouldn't say like mid gold to high gold range would be complete freaking ape fest. So like especially because if people ran into ranked with Smurfs, for example, then because kills counted so much even at like the start of the game, they would just ape literal. They would just find and hunt down like literally whatever you would like hear or see.
Land with as many people as possible, spray a few of them, and then like get the hell out.
Yeah, pretty much that, right? And so it didn't really feel good if you were on like the receiving end of it, especially because like placement didn't really matter, right?
Oh yeah.
And if you're starting out on ranked, it's not really a good experience. So, but I feel like with the current system, one of the few good things that came out of the current system is it promotes like a little bit more balanced gameplay at the start. So it's not it's not like a bunch of like really it's not like a bunch of like really mismatched players come in and just completely stomp like a really hot drop or whatever, you know?
It's a different kind of game for sure. Because I know that when I jump into BR, like standard BR, we're getting into fights, we're pushing teams. It seems like the whole name of the game in ranked is
Yeah.
Oh, an enemy player? Run the other way. Run the other way. Run the other way. Run, 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 run.
Yeah, there's definitely a higher focus on like actually living these days, which is, I think, positive overall. Although, like, I think the point system is definitely like the largest gripe that most players have, and I personally agree with it. The point system is just kind of, I think that the higher up you go, I think there should be some like extra costs to like entering the ranked games, I suppose.
I've definitely noticed I'm slow to enter fights now because I don't know what the plan is. So sometimes I'm like, you'll hear me sort of bewildered, go like, are we fighting?
Yeah.
Like actually fighting?
I think generally if you're playing with a group of 3, I think it really just depends on who you're playing with. But I think the more you play with like the same people, like the more you have like a better sense of like when you know that they want to go in on something or when you should pull back.
Yeah.
But I think, of course, I think we've definitely gotten better about communicating. Hey, we should like stay here. Hey, we should like let's fight this, you know? Or like, oh, let's 3, 2, 1 this target on this ping right now. Not thinking about the charge problem mode at all, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that just kind of differs between, because like Apex is such a dynamic game, right? And I'm sure that you already know like your experience is like a complete 180 from like when you're like playing solo versus like even just duos or trios, and even that changes depending on who you're playing with, because it could be, because if you're playing with people who like have no regard for like what you're doing, don't want to feed you information, and don't want to play as a team, like it's basically worse than having a third that is a rando and it will at least use pings, right? Like it's an incredibly like dynamic experience that just really depends on like what you're with, more so than what you're up against, in my opinion. But I
tend
that...
to avoid soloing as often as humanly possible. I don't really like duos, but if I'm playing with someone, I will like totally do trios with a stranger.
Yeah, it kind of, duos is really interesting because you kind of, assuming that you know how the other person operates, it's kind of like this really awkward dynamic where you're not really sure how your third piece is going to fit with the rest of the puzzle that's already there, or if it's going to fit at all, which normally it doesn't, which is kind of expected, I suppose. It'd be kind of, it's more fortuitous than not to have a third that actually knows how to fit in there. But maybe this is like a slightly hot take. This is, I'm just gonna, full disclaimer, I'm not particularly good at Apex. I'm just super whatever the heck I am. But I think that like solos might kind of suck a little bit, but if you find yourself having trouble like obtaining information or find yourself kind of quote unquote lost, solos is brutal, but it's surprisingly helpful if you can stomach like maybe like 1 or 2 games in a sitting, of just dropping like solo and trying to like, instead of relying on 2 people to like feed you information like audibly, like having to being forced like obtain your information.
Hey everyone, welcome Raiders.
Is, like,
we're kind of winding down. Glad you're here. Welcome.
It fucking sucked when I did it. I did not like it.
I hope you had a good stream.
People too, right? But I think you just started with like a Discord call when somebody was just like, oh, I can't really talk, because this and that reason. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. So you came into the game. It's like the first time I'm playing like with no like backup, no like pre-made in the voice comms, right?
No voice, no input whatsoever. When you've soloed, do you tend to try to make comms work, or do you just not engage?
The best you can really do is pings are surprisingly effective, especially because they've added even more pings in now as of the season in Apex. But like playing solos is like a surprisingly really good way and fast way of like just kind of getting used to the flow of like having to obtain your own information, not relying entirely like obviously if you're getting fed information from teammates, it's really helpful, it's nice, but not relying 100% on like people telling you where to go, like where is safe, where enemies are looking at, is it like, is it safe to like attack, is it safe to draw attention to yourself by shooting at another person. Like playing solos is surprisingly like, it won't click right away, it won't feel like anything's happening, but if you play a few games solo, kind of let it digest and sit a bit, and then go back to playing with like a trio again, you'll feel a difference. Like I can almost guarantee it. And
Okay.
it's gonna suck, but like just full disclaimer, it's gonna fucking suck. But like, I think
great.
it actually helps. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate it,
Yeah.
but you'll thank me later.
Well, this is like super like objective, like in my opinion, objective of like if you care enough about the game to do that, if you care enough about your own gameplay to resort to that kind of thing, because it's a game at the end of the day. I think you should just enjoy it. And if Souls is fucking miserable, I don't think you should do it, you know? But if you think a little bit of bitter medicine is worth like, you know, this much like perspective on when you play trios again later down the line, then I would suggest it. And I think that's why it's really common to see people like occasionally just kind of go off on their own solo streaming, you know, in Apex. Because like I can guarantee you it's not as fun as playing with other people, but
No, it definitely is.
yeah, absolutely. But
it's kind of what's gotten me to like vary up my games.
Yeah.
So like if I have a collab, I'm in Apex. If I don't have a collab, I'm in,
Yeah.
you know, Mass Effect or Destiny.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of the thing though. Like, I think I mean I feel like just being straight up, I feel really inferior to a lot of my peers who are good at Apex. But like I also don't think I have the right to be like super like upset or like frustrated or angry about it, because it's just kind of like I know that I've not put in like the same amount of time or like dedication or like, you know, like or whatever, right? So I'm just kind of like, you know, but I think as long as you're enjoying the process of whatever you're doing, that's like honestly the most important part. If you're not enjoying the process, the result better be freaking worth it, right? That's the second most important thing. So yeah, as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, Melly, I think you're doing the right thing. Seriously.
Are you enjoying what you're doing?
Honestly, yes, I'm enjoying it greatly. Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna hop back and party with you, but it didn't let me.
Also, like, Kaisa brought up a really good point about, like, solos. She agrees with the solos being a good way to learn the game, but, like, yeah, a big part of is, as she mentioned, like, you know, being able to read timings on, like, well, being able to read timings and how to, like, isolate your 1v1s, because, like, well, those are two different things that branch into, like, a whole bunch of other things I shouldn't get into, so I don't, like, get too long-winded here, but yeah, absolutely correct. And learning how to play around, like, it's also really good for trios as well, because you'll be able to adapt faster and more easily and more intuitively to people who play completely differently. Like, if I play with, like, my friends on Apex, you know, or if I play with Toast versus, like, playing with, like, you and Colorfinger versus, like, literally anybody else. Like, everybody plays the game in, like, a fascinatingly different way, you know? But if you go off and do solos, you'll be able to adapt to those kind of, like, differences more quickly.
Hey, Psych, welcome. Thanks for finding me. Welcome to my chat. I have a very, I feel like Toast versus just about every other one of my collabs is completely different. Toast. I like that, Toast.
Toast plays in,
Toaster has taught me to constantly be moving and constantly be ready to push. And it's actually thrown me off a lot of the time in other matchups where I will be like, ready and moving in for the push and only notice afterwards that my teammates are running the opposite direction and retreating. Because, like, I've just been so trained playing with Toaster to be like, all right, there are three of them, three of us, we're engaging. The moment someone drops, we're pushing.
Yeah, I think that's also like that also falls into the difference of, like, teammates being wildly different. Because, like, Toast, it depends on what he's playing, but I would say like 90% of the time he's pretty freaking aggressive with how he plays. Versus like today, it was like a lot of, like, you know, holding up and ratting and, you know, like picking your fights very, very, very carefully, you know.
That's
if
definitely
at all, at times. Yeah.
That was definitely the what do you call it? The habit rotation MO. Something words. That was the rhythm that I got into.
Tempo, yeah.
That I got into playing with Toaster. Toaster hates ratting.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, like, ratting isn't the most exciting. Like, just speaking as like a content creator for a second, like, it's not the most exciting thing to watch. Honestly, like, do you really want to watch somebody try to hide behind like a Starbucks cup for like 30 minutes? Probably not, right? Like
That's-
it's not very exciting, but like getting in there, maybe pulling off a 1v3, you know, or like wiping a squad or landing some sick headshots. That's good stuff, right? So
I guess it
I can
depends on what they're looking
kinda
for.
get
Like
that.
sometimes the conversation can make it worth it.
Hmm.
Also, if you treat it like it's a survival game, everyone else is a zombie. We're trying desperately to hang on for dear life for the fate of our society.
True.
Quokka is one of the most super chill and relaxed Apex Cloud players. Miss Doc is also someone who like habitually plays solo, and I am blown away. I'm blown away by that.
I used to play almost exclusively solo up until Toast invited me for a collab, actually.
And now we've lured you in.
I've been reeled in. Here I am. Ooh, lordy.
Yeah, I remember my chat's heard me say this, but one of the eye opener sessions for me, I was playing with Sheffy, I think, and someone else, and it was ranked. I think it was actually a couple of ranked games, and I wasn't used to like the playing your life and like, you know, trying to stay alive as long as possible. So like, you know, 5 different times we would catch sight on an enemy, and I'm running sniper, so I'm long range as well, and I would immediately go into combat calls. And be like, all right, I see someone up there. There's someone on the top door. I'm pinging someone down there. All right, I'm going to take a shot at the one on the bottom right. Where? Wait, why am I alone? And they'd have been like a mile in the other direction by that point.
Yeah, there's just like I think there's also a lot to do with like loot pathing and all that jazz, which is like looting is kind of interesting, but I think that's like I think I realized pretty fucking early on, because like at the start of when I played, I was getting like literally dragged along by like diamonds and masters players, which is not the most fun way to drag somebody into the game, but they didn't wait for me, right? And so like I learned to loot reasonably quickly for my playtime, just from like getting towed along like that. But I wouldn't recommend it for most people, honestly, because it's really unpleasant.
That might depend a little bit on who you're playing with.
Communion with the earth.
I feel like
It partially depends on who you're playing with, but like I think like if you're interested in getting better at Apex, looting quickly is definitely an actual like, it's not a soft skill, it's like an actual skill, in my opinion. And like I think a big part of it is knowing the maps to some extent, but you can also kind of make some decisions without knowing anything about like what you're looting, and which is somewhat helpful, especially because there's so many freaking maps these days.
I think something, and so something else that can, and it's something that we run into, but I also think we make a good team, so it's been fine. But something that in this matchup I run into that I haven't run into in other matchups is a lot of like preferred weapon overlap. And that can vary wildly from group to group, because like I know I play with some players, like Toaster's one of them, where like they're going for SMGs and shotguns. And so I always have like first pick of weapons that I'm comfortable with, which means it's easier to be running as you go. And like, oh cool, the moment there's a longbow, it's in my hands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've had other matches, not just this one, but I've had other matchups where, you know, for instance, like all 3 of us are looking for sniper rifles. People are running long mid-range weapons, and then there's a lot of competition there, and that can become challenging if you're not someone who is adept with everything. And I've done that to my friends as well. Like when I've played with my friend Rail, we've had games where like we're starting to engage, and Rail is literally saying stuff I was saying tonight, where I hear him suddenly in comms going like, I can't do anything. I don't have any means of firing from this range. And I'm like, fuck. Oh no.
Yeah, but like that's also something that's like that's also something that you might have to like. Well, you don't have to do anything, obviously. It's your game. You should play how you want. Just, you know, full disclaimer here. But like, I think that when you're playing the game, I think just accepting that you fall into this role or that role, depending on what like loadout you have and what your teammates also have. Especially if you're like, you know, in a 3-stack with trios, like, you know, like I think there was probably a lot of games where I did like jack shit for damage because I ran a shotgun and like a close range SMG because I just because like at the start I was like, oh, are we gonna? I was like, oh, if we get in a fight, you know, I want to be able to shoot for us. You know, I kind of gradually shifted my loadout choice to something that was a bit more suitable for like how we were playing. But like, you know, but you kind of saw how it also bit us in the back at some point because we had like 3 snipers for funsies, and you know, we were second place, but like that fight that the very last fight of that one game that we lost, we had like 3 charge rifles. We could have won that. We actually fried that other team pretty bad, but all 3 of us were effectively running 1 gun. Because you can't really use a charge rifle in close range comfortably like that. It's nothing. It's nothing compared to like using like an SMG and like a shotgun, for example, which is what the other team had, by the way. I got like 100 pumped to the face with a PK.
I've had really good luck early on with shotguns, but I almost never want to keep them in my hands.
And that's totally fine. You know, I think that if you want to run like mid to long range, like then ideally in a perfect world you would have people who are willing to go to something else and fill in the holes that would leave, you know. And likewise, if all 3 of us run shotguns as SMGs, then we have like 0 long range. Unless if one of us happen to be a really good wingman player, then that's different. But I mean, to my knowledge, none of us are. So like,
I probably could do to run shotgun a little bit more often. When I'm running sniper, I don't know. You can do really, really nice damage really quickly with the PK, but like if I'm running something like a longbow or a 30-30, I could see myself pairing that with fucking like an Eva, something that fires fast and can and has a decent like magazine size.
Yeah, it's just very it just can be kind of punishing because if you miss like half a mag on like a 301, for example, it's not like really the end of the world. But if you miss half a mag on your Eva close up, you're probably dead. So it just really depends on what you want to do and what kind of role you want to fulfill with the team. But like, this is all kind of getting like, but like I guess Apex is just like a game where you can throw as much as you want at it, or you can throw as little as you want at it. I think that's pretty fucking great, honestly. Like if you want to run double snipers for life, you freaking could every fucking game.
I've done it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you can't like whatever you want out of the game is, you know, what you put into it, right? So at the end of the day, it's just like it's just.
My gut is always mid to long range. If I can get away with it.
I think it's good to be like flexible-ish, you know, like at least have like 1 or 2 guns that you're like maybe not super comfortable. You might not like them. You don't have to like them, but at least being like comfortable with like a couple of guns in each category is like pretty helpful. Because like I think it's also like coincides with looting in my opinion a lot. Because I think a huge problem when I first started was like I liked how a couple of guns felt, so I would look for those 2 particular guns like every game, right?
Yeah.
Like I really like the flatline. I'd go for the flatline. And then I really like the sentinels. So I would also go for the sentinels. So I would like, and so if somebody pinged the flatline, I would double back and go back for the flatline. But by the time I get to the flatline, people have spent the same amount of time as me doubling back as like going forward, you know. But like later on, you know, with other guns coming out, I would kind of learn to accept that like, oh well, like if I want to use like these days I like using the 301, right? But if I find a scout, I'm gonna use a scout, and then if somebody pings like if I pick up a scout, then I consider that a placeholder for my 301 because it holds like almost the same attachments, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
And that drastically reduces the amount of time that I have to spend doubling back, getting weapons, etc. And it also kind of helped me to learn to use like mid-range marksman weapons a bit better, like 30-30 and the scout itself, which is it's honestly a pretty good weapon too, right? I think it's just like it's so small, but learning to like loot quickly, thoroughly the first time you're there, and also making it's kind of a lot, but like also like making like a mental note of like like sometimes when we're playing, right, I'm like, Melly, you should loot this building. And I kind of hope, I don't know if you actually do because I don't really keep track of that all the time. But if I tell you to loot this building, it's because I know that neither me nor Colorfinger has been there. It's fresh. There's probably something in there that you can use, whether it's heals, attachments, guns, whatever, you know. And like, cause like if you're going through somebody else's scraps and they haven't pinged anything, there's probably nothing there for you, and you're wasting time by going there, right?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
I try to. I don't know if I always see those pings, but I do try to go to. I've started to. If I'm not tabbed out, I have started to try to land.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, not at all. But I think a huge part of like looting speed is not just the first time you go. I think the biggest part of looting for me was learning to not double back on what other people have already gone through. Because if they haven't pinged anything useful, there's like nothing there, right? Even if you're playing with 2 people that you have never met before in your life, I would say like 3 out of 5 times the pups are gonna ping something like a 4 to 8x, you know?
Sure.
Especially if they don't want it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. How do you? This might be a dumb question, but how do you know that your teammate's been there? Or if you see the mini map?
The mini map, because you can kind of see the shape of the building that they're at, and it's, for me, it was. This might seem like a little bit control freaky almost, but like I guess for me, it's something that I was blessed to have had like hammered into my brain because I used to raid in 14. I raid led a group of 8 people for 3 years. So keeping track of what everybody else was doing for 7 other people was like, that was completely normal for me. I kept track of where they went. I kept track of like their cooldowns, you know, and I could say off the top of my head, hey, we're going to make this DPS check because we use this and that too early, or this and that too late, you know?
Dark says, when looping back, I can sometimes still find important loot because the team is blind. That's what I'm wondering, because like not everybody is looking for the little dude, you know, like, and not everyone also, and also like I frequently will pick up attachments for a weapon I don't have yet because I'm trying to plan a future loadout. So like they might not get a notification that I need something because I don't have that weapon yet. Yeah,
but I would say that like 9 out of 10 times you can like find a weapon of. Sorry, 9 out of 10 times is a bit strong. Maybe 4 out of 5 times, you can find a weapon that can at least serve as like a placeholder, so it takes up less space in your inventory. Like, say if I want like a Nemesis, but I only see a Havoc, I'm still gonna pick up the Havoc just so I can hold all my attachments and like save like anywhere from like 1 to 4 like attachment slots, right? And
yeah, that makes sense.
Be slots in my inventory. And if we get into a fight and I gotta use this Havoc, well, tough shit. But you know, I didn't find the Nemesis to start with, right? At least I have a weapon and at least I have attachments for it.
No, that makes sense. My compromise, and we ran into this with Colorfinger, still kind of became a little bit frustrating tonight, is I must have a long range. So I have to have a sniper, or at the very least a 30-30. But for my other weapon, I will take anything that can use, almost anything that can use medium scope. So I'm comfortable with the Nemesis. I'm comfortable with a Havoc. I'm comfortable with a 301. I'm comfortable with a flatline. Any one of those, but. Yeah, typically that's like my perfect loadout is, and what I'll then do is I'll look at my ammunition and I'll see one of 2 things. Either I feel like it's been a little different in ranked because we're like doing weird running away shit, but like because also that's the other thing is we're also like constantly moving that much faster and we're not engaging with people when people are actually near us, which means we don't always leave ourselves the time to loot. Right. Ideally, I also will either pick a weapon based on if I get a high quality mag early. Like if I immediately find like a purple heavy mag, I'm like, all right, so I'm looking for either a 30-30 or a flatline. Or I'll look at what ammunition the 2 of you are using and I'll try to pick one that you're not going for so that ideally we're not competing for ammo.
Yeah, that's also pretty smart. There's also like the...
But I just don't like SMGs. I will not pick, I literally will not pick up a Volt. I might pick up a 99, but I will not pick up an alternator. I will pick up a 45. I hate the G7. I will never touch it. I hate the triple take. I try never to touch it. And I realize that those limitations create, like, there are moments where that's the only weapon there. And, like, I might pick it up because it's the only weapon there, but, like, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
I mean, I think it's also worth noting that, like, there's also, like, a asterisk third option of, like, if you're not entirely happy with the loadout that you have, like, there is also the option of just minding that, like, if you... how do I put this? Well, if you're willing to ape a team for it, and potentially die in the process, but hopefully not. You could kill a team and just take what they have to.
You're surprised I won't use the alternator, Succubus? Well, one, it's an SMG, so I can't use a mid-range scope. And I want
on the crafter at the moment.
I want a mid-range scope. And two, I don't know, it doesn't feel as good as the 99 to me, but I can't put my finger on why. Is it literally just that I think it's ugly? I don't know. Is it Melly don't want triangle gun? I couldn't tell you.
It has a much slower like fire rate, but its hip fire is pretty much unmatched, I think. But hip firing guns means that you're very, very close, and if mid range is your preference, then like the alternator is probably not for you.
Alternator.
Just to be fair here, just to be fair.
Yeah, I know.
My personal favorite gun is actually the R99 and car, but I like being in the so. Yeah. Which has kind of been an adjustment for me because I'm used to running at teams. But
me too.
Yeah.
Like I still run mid to long range, but I've gotten so used to pushing that it's been such a weird adjustment going into ranked.
Yeah, like I actively changed my loadout preferences to like fit what we were doing, because like typically I am the Andy that runs like a PK 301 or like a 99 PK.
Please do.
I mean, I would, but like we don't get into enough situations where that's more beneficial than having like a 301 and like something else that's like actually, you know, or like maybe at best I'll run like a rampage and like a shotgun or something.
I can't really get into the rampage, but I like that you like it.
The rampage is really weird. It's not something I would recommend for everybody because I think fire rate. I mean, I know people who are really, really, really fucking good at this game and just cannot fucking use it for the life of them. But it's a very strange gun, honestly. It's one of those guns that can be really good, but like it's so niche that I can't really recommend it. I think it's more worth your time to learn how to use a flatline or something.
I've come to really like the flatline. When I first started playing, I hated the fucking thing.
The flatline's incredibly strong. It's just not very nice. It doesn't play nice with the recoil compared to like the 301 with no attachments. There's also fewer bullets, so like if you like sorry, the firing speed is like I think it's a bit slower, right?
I think that's what originally was a big turnoff for me. Was I thought it was just really fucking slow, and that bothered me.
Yeah, it's slower, and the recoil is really, really, really nasty compared to the 301 with no attachments, but it's really good. It's a really good gun. I think it's worth using.
But the bullets hit harder, right?
Yes, they do.
So that's cool.
Yep, if you can get them to hit. The flatline's also kind of well, I don't want to get into that.
Out of catnip, welcome.
In discussion now, but that's also something to consider with it too. Some skins are just strictly better on that gun, which is insane.
Welcome to my shot. I'm glad you found me.
Kind of bothersome.
That
only applies to the iron sights, by the way. So.
A whole extra layer that I can't.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think...
Didn't they fix that? Is it still... Are still some of them still better?
Some of them are still better.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, that's a whole different can of worms I'm not going to get into because it's a whole different discussion, but... Yeah. Yeah, anyway, it's fun. It's interesting. I mean, the best you can do with a game is just whatever you make of it, so...
Does that sentence mean anything? What does that sentence mean? The best you can do is whatever you can make of it.
But it's literally that though. Like your best experience is what you want out of it, right? Like if you want to push to pred and that's your goal, then yeah, and your best experience will be climbing there. And if you want to just if you want to hit silver and tell your friends, hey guys, I fucking hit silver, like. And yeah, you should be proud of yourself if you hit a goal like that, you know? It's literally just, you know, video games, I suppose.
I am not hitting this motherfucker. I always find conversations like this fascinating because I always feel like my subconscious creeps up on me and I just feel like all the feedback or all of the all of the perspectives I'm hearing are kind of like veiled lists of reasons I'm bad at this game.
But like being bad is also incredibly subjective, I think. As corny as that sounds. And like I think the whole topic of getting good at Apex or getting good at any game really is just again a whole different can of worms. Because people enjoy games very differently, right? So
they do. I remember God, I used to get into these vicious arguments with friends vis-a-vis Overwatch because there is a whole aspect of Overwatch culture that treats that game like it's a game of rock, paper, scissors.
Right.
And so I would get into arguments with people where like they've designed a game that's character driven with like iconic, interesting heroes with unlockables that people are going to min-max based around their favorite hero. And then you've got some players that constantly switch heroes because they see everything about like picks and counter picks.
Right.
And I would get into these arguments because like, to me, I'm like, there is a big swath of people that play that game that essentially pick a main that they like, that's meaningful to them, and they play it that way. And then you've got people that would tell you that is literally playing the game wrong. Like there's one clearly defined way of playing that game.
I think
and so it would take the form of like, well, if you're not constantly switching in matches, you're literally not playing Overwatch right. And I'm like, I don't know that's true. That might be a strategy that is effective in like certain types of competitive play, but I'm not sure if we talked to the developer of that game that they would tell you that that's specifically the purpose of the game. Because then you could just make all the characters look the same.
I mean, like, I wanna, like, it might sound like I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I'm really just stating my mind that, like, I think both sides are, in a manner, correct. In a manner, both sides are kind of correct. But again, it just kind of boils down to the same shit of the game is what you make of it. And if you think that's like the optimal way to play the game, then for yourself to enjoy the game, then go do that, right? If you're gonna one-trick something, go for it. If you wanna switch off characters because that's what you think that Overwatch is to you, then you should do that too. But like, I think the dumber thing here is that they would try to force that on you when you're trying to play the game your own way.
Both sides are correct, but one gets more toxic than the other. Yo, dude, I used to run into so many issues when I would hop into comp, and that's why I only have one gold weapon. Like I pushed for 1 gold for my main, and I fucking moved on. Because at least at the time, so now you can queue in Overwatch for a specific role, but at the time, I would hop into a game as a dedicated support player, and half the time in comp, I'd hop in, both supports would get taken, and I'd be like, hey guys, I'm gonna be dead weight right now. I have to play a support class. And unless someone switched, like, then it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And they're like getting mad at you later for not being good at something you're not good at.
That's honestly their problem, not yours. just being very frank here. Yeah. That is not on you. That is on them for pushing their agenda on you and not being able to play around that because like it depends on how confident you are in your role, but if you don't think you can like solo, if you're not confident in like carrying your role very, very, very hard in a game like that, I would, for the purposes of ranking, I would say that like I would make sure to have a backup role you're comfortable switching to in case you want to like accommodate your team. But that's also a whole different can of worms. Like people are gonna think very, because like there's a lot of instances in which like being confident in what you're doing and just taking that role is the better play.
Well, and if you're really good at a specific play style or character, you're going to be able to, like, your gameplay is going to curve so much higher, even in what someone would consider like a subpar or a not ideal comp or situation. Like Destiny, aspirational. Hey, Von Hexa, welcome, Raiders. Destiny, aspirational content. So contest mode rating, GM's master mode rating. I don't know if you've done any of that.
I've never played Destiny.
cannot tell you the number of times. So like it's very common to get in a state of mind when you go into that. It's extremely challenging. Like you have to be absolutely playing at the highest level possible to be able to clear that stuff. And so like good players, I like to think of myself as one of them, go into those activities very open-minded. So I go in knowing I like specific weapons, but I'm like, it's fine. If I need to switch to a different power weapon, I'll switch to a different power weapon. If I need to have a submachine gun, I'll use a submachine gun. I don't like it, but I'll do it because it's about clearing the activity.
Right.
I cannot tell you the number of times that like an hour and a half later, after switching like through 30 loadouts, that the final attempt where we get the kill on the boss, I'm back to using the weapon I'm good at.
Yeah, and this is true for like so many fucking games, honestly. Oh, like let me have like X hero in Overwatch.
Homing for loot over
Okay, I'll give it to you, and they just fucking eat shit for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so on a spreadsheet, this would be ideal, or in someone else's hands, this would be ideal. But then what they don't consider is like, there's a decent chance that I perform well above what you're used to or capable of with the thing that I'm good at.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
God, I can't tell you the number of games that we've like brutalized the enemy team while I was playing Brigitte after someone like chewed me out for playing Brigitte. And then I would have like, you know, and then I'd have more heals than the fucking Mercy.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, just like, I think the problem with this particular topic is that there's really no end to it. Like, there's no, because every single game is going to be very different, and like, the players and people that you run into are just going to have like, I mean, even from just game to game with the same players, like, the results can differ pretty freaking wildly. Like, somebody might be able to fry on the CPS character that you really wanted to play, and you didn't get. Like, probably better than you, you know? But, like, you know, on the other hand, like, maybe majority of the time that you play, you are the one who ends up frying harder than them. So, but you never quite know, because you don't really know who you're playing with until you see it happen with your own two eyes. Unless if it's, like, a pre-made group, right? But that's an entirely different thing, right? We're just talking about randoms here that we're giving away roles to. Or withholding from them.
The thing that gets, like, that gets really challenging is, like, when you've got a certain game mode, especially something that can reward, like let's take like the gold weapons in Overwatch, for instance, right. You know, or a fucking, you know, trail for running diamonds. I don't know how Apex, it very much seems like I've seen so many players seem to be able to like perform adequately pretty much no matter who they pick. But
I mean, Apex is mostly gunplay over like abilities do have a huge factor in like the gameplay for sure, but it's not nearly as impactful as like, they don't make your character the way they do in like Overwatch, for example.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, gunplay is very much like the central. It's like the central like play of Apex. Sure.
But it sucks when you've got something like that. Let's say you want like your gold weapon, and it's generally considered like you have to play the game a really specific way to be eligible. Like you have to be doing like comp counter comp like kind of shit, and then like. What am I trying to say? So, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is kind of in the same way that people get angry at pay-to-win content that can't be earned via playing the game the normal way, right? Like, what, you just, like, swipe a credit card and you get something and, like, I can't get it unless I spend money? Like, that's fucking bullshit. I'm going, like, dead opposite that in this example now. The idea that, like, if there's, like, a whole zeitgeist that exists in a game, like, for instance, treating Overwatch as a game where, like, you pick a main. And if that is, like, not viable at all for a type of gameplay that has a reward you want, that feels really bad. You know, like, oh, so I have to play the game a completely different way that's not fun to get this item. There's no other way to earn this.
Sounds like a lot of MMOs, honestly. I'm looking at you, WoW.
I remember, and it's funny because I eventually got it because I was on hospital rest from so I ended up with the insane title in World of Warcraft, which is a title you get from like maxing the reputations of some of the stupidest, you know, the stupidest fucking factions in the game.
Right.
And I remember for a while until I got it, and I ended up getting it because I was on bed rest from surgery. And like I just had nothing to do. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll be a lunatic and start grinding reputations in World of Warcraft, because what else am I doing with my time? But for a good minute there, I'm like, you know, it's kind of weird. The insane could mean so many different things. I got super like philosophical with it. And I'm like, you know, don't you think if I like go into this raid and I pull this raid boss into this raid boss and we somehow manage to keep our shit together and clear both raid bosses at the same time, which is totally not the way you're supposed to play, don't you think that could award me with the insane title too? Like, don't you think there should be different sets of criteria for some of these titles?
I guess it depends. Huh. That one just has so many nuances. I don't even know where to start, so I'm probably not gonna comment on it at all.
The opposite is when everything's viable, nothing is interesting. Is that your take on FF14? Uh-oh, spicy take. Everything's viable, but nothing's interesting?
It's true. It's true.
Oh no.
As a person who's been playing since Heavensward, I think that there is like...
Did you ever get it?
Did
you ever find the Heaven Sword?
What's up?
Did you ever find the Heaven Sword?
We did. We fought them too. Twice.
You did?
We did.
Did you get to equip it? Did you loot it, or did someone else get it?
I did get to loot it.
You heard it here first.
Those fancy ultimate weapons were mine.
Yura herself wielded the Heaven Sword.
Also, 14 is a very beloved game, and it's... Okay, oh man, this is such a difficult topic to traverse, because because first of all, everything is extremely fucking objective. But I do want to say that, like, just gonna get it out of the way here. Just getting it out of the way. The game itself is incredibly fucking good. The story is, in my opinion, almost unmatched. It's so fucking good. But it's also, just full disclaimer, it's really hard to beat like a fucking decade's worth of building up and storytelling. It's hard to beat that shit. Most stories don't get 10 decades to tell their story, let alone like maybe 3, okay?
That's why almost no MMO ends up being a WoW killer, because they're up against like 15 years of content instantaneously.
I think it's 20 now, but yeah. But yeah. Top 100. I did,
It's funny, so you were a raid leader.
I was a raid leader for 3 years.
Never wanted to be a raid leader. I was a main tank, basically career. In other games.
I've gotten... Oh god, I don't like using parses as a metric, so... I guess, like, I put this... I'm not trying to... I think... I'm just gonna say that I have my rating credentials. I definitely have my rating credentials. I've seen gold parses, I've cleared every ultimate, except for top, because I actually retired just after DSR last year. I've been playing since Heavensward. I raid bleeded for 3 years, but I was raiding before that too. I main tanked for my group. I was top 50 Astra in the world.
Oh, did you tank as well?
Yeah, I was
fun.
top 50. Actually, I was top 40 Astra for a tier, I think. And then I was also like I was consistently top 100 tank for most of the raid.
I've never tried Final Fantasy 14, but I was a mythic raid tank for a while.
I think
in WoW.
14 is an incredibly fucking good game. But like it's one of I'm gonna say that this for an MMO, this 14 is undoubtedly the most pathologically well balanced. Like, just before anybody says anything, like, this is all subjective, okay? But I think compared to most games, this is one of the most well balanced games I've ever fucking played. Because in WoW, like, there's actual classes or specs that you just can't bring into the raid. It's gonna freaking suck week 1 prog, you know? Or maybe it's just gonna straight up not allow you to clear the raid compared to, like, you know, something else that's actually suited or is broken. 14 is incredibly flexible in the sense of, like, past Heavensward was like the one weird expansion where this didn't apply because of stuff I'm not gonna get into. But if you know anything from the Alexander tiers, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Paladin. Enough said. But after that, for the most part, like, it might not be optimal, but you could technically clear any fucking content after that point in the game with any class, like, as long as you fit, like, the 2 tank, 2 healer, like, 4 DPS, like, composition, you could technically clear any fight with any combination of, like, classes that you wanted, provided there were no dupes, because that would... But... like, overall, it's the most pathologically well-balanced game I've ever fucking played in my life. It's actually insane. you know. But at the same time, it's somebody said in the chat earlier in your chat, right, that it kind of made the games like kind of made the classes almost like homogenous, you know. Like a lot of them were very similar. There's not a lot of variety, and it's true compared to WoW. Like we have no fucking variety in 14, but it's because it just gives the devs like less to worry about with balancing. Everything's like so close to each other that it's like kind of easy to like tweak small changes and fine-tune classes, where as opposed to making general like wide sweeping changes that would impact like this many freaking classes. But you can't like basically if I'm trying to sorry, I hope I'm not losing you, Millie, but like let's say that I wanted to make changes in Apex for like all the skirmisher classes, right? Versus like, but like imagine if we had like half the cast in the skirmisher class. That would make it so much harder to balance, right? Because all the legends do so many different things. If it's impacting all of them, it makes it so hard to balance. But because they're spread out a bit, it makes it easier to balance, right? You're dealing with less at a time. And so Final Fantasy kind of follows that same rule of like, oh, well, it's easier to balance these things because everything's a bit more similar and like close to it, right?
Sorry.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
I just crit from like 800 miles away with the bow. Continue.
Sneeze or something. But yeah, a lot of the classes play similarly, but like they still feel different. They still have very different aesthetics, which I think is a pretty huge part. I don't know if you're routine this. I'm just gonna say that like I have my critiques of 14, but overall I think it's like a 10 out of 10 game. It is god tier. It is amazing, and I wouldn't have spent so much time in it. But having had spent so much fucking time in that game, also have my gripes. I was like,
I don't know how the fuck I just did that.
It's not because I hate the game. I have very much love for it. I've just put a lot of thought into it. So, but overall, my impression is extremely, extremely, extremely positive. It's a really good game. And I didn't quit because I never quit the game because I hated the game or because I wanted out or whatever. It's just because I thought that the game had I felt like I had done everything I wanted to do in the game, and I felt like it was my time to go, and I didn't want to leave on like a note where I was like, oh man, I hate this game. I don't want to play anymore. I thought it was good to end on a high note. So that's where I left. I left right after weekly.
So you've not come back, you've not done any hiatuses?
What's that?
You've not come back from any hiatuses to play again?
I've done some minor hiatuses, but like never anything like super major. And I do think that like this is very different because like I actively avoided raid leading for the longest freaking time because I just didn't want to do it. Even though I was told, you should do it. You're really good at this kind of stuff, you know, like you have the soft skill, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't want to fucking do it. It's a lot of responsibility.
I respect it. I fucking can't raid lead to save my life. I did main tank because I mostly came from a place of being fed up with the people that I had been playing with and just wanting to have control over the top down of the fight. But that is me worrying about the dance between me and the boss and looking at the spaces around the boss and making that there's space for other people to do damage and looking at that immediate area and then shifting and moving it like we're on a chessboard. I don't know what the fuck they're doing though. I'm just making space for them. That's a whole extra thing that like, that if you're good at that, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But I had started as a DPSer, and so what I started to do, whether or not I intended to do, was I was just taking notes in the back of my head of like every single time we were caught in fire with like 2 fucking centimeters to stand in because the tank didn't have the awareness of anything happening on the other end of a boss, or not moving fast enough, or not preemptively positioning so that we would have an easier time later. And eventually it was just kind of like a fuck it, I'll do it myself.
Right.
And then did it from there on out. It's a wonder I don't play Gibraltar because I like characters that can look out for and protect the people around them. For all the sniping I do, I feel like when push comes to shove, I always end up wanting to tank for my friends. The last time we did Terraria, we did Calamity mode, and I started out playing a rogue, and I had all these big plans. Calamity Terraria is obscene, especially if you turn on death mode like I insisted. And initially I wanted to try out the rogue class, and I had all these big plans for how it was going to go, and then I realized that, like, at least the people I was playing with at the time, I think I was slightly better at bullet hell than they were. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go tank. I end up tanking in every fucking game ever.
I mean, like, you know, playing to your strengths and what you're good at with a group is, like, ideally, it would line up with what you like doing in a game. Like, I can't say that I liked raid leading but it was something I want to say I was pretty good at it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I have a tremendous amount of love though for WoW. Kind of got into this pattern. I don't know if Final Fantasy does this, but I have a tremendous amount of love for kind of the 2-tank raid fight trend, because I think there is like nothing more powerful than the bond between like an amazing tag team tank setup.
True. Like my co-tanker is one of my best friends. Oh, but it's not because like we ran a semi-hardcore group, so like I can assuredly tell you that I did not recruit him because I liked him as a friend. I just recruited him solely based off of like ability, and then if we happen to become friends after that, cool beans. But
it happens.
Actually, yeah, I mean,
the friendship grows.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever I don't know if I'm gonna ever get this in any video game ever again, but the amount of synergy that we had with like literally everything was just so fucking insane. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I play Apex. I'm just like, do you think I wonder if I'll ever find a code tank in this game, so to speak. But like, seriously though, I think those kinds of moments in raid are just fucking magical. Where you can just like kind of have everything fall. I think winning a clean 3v3 where everything contributes, where everybody contributes in Apex has like a similar feeling. It's pretty great. I don't know. Thinking is just I guess once you eat too much shit with another person together, you just kind of build a bond through that.
And I've had those moments where like we have a new substitute tank or something, and I'm like messaging Zuffins, and I'm like, I don't like this person. I typically, it's funny, we've both had stints as rogue. Back in the WoW days, Zuffins played rogue. But eventually, he ended up healing, and so a lot of games we've jumped into, he's been the healer, I've been the tank, and so we've had kind of like the duo setup. This is kind of a non sequitur in terms of like not getting along when you first meet someone, but one of our closest friends for a while in our guild back in the day, I had been in a position of class lead.
Right.
And
like a mini raid officer kind of.
Yeah, I was the best at it. It was at the time I was playing Death Knight in World of Warcraft, and I was the weirdo that turned up and spent 25 minutes at the target dummy before every raid night to like polish my rotation to perfection so that I could absolutely min-max my damage.
Right.
And so, you know, I knew a whole lot about the class. I was someone who like, especially during its initial class, everyone decided, I'm going to be arrogant about it like 15 years later. Everyone decided that because it was brand new, it was obviously overpowered, and Death Knight was like this flavor of the month class.
Right.
And so I would play a class, and then anytime someone told me my spec or like my choice of gear was why I was doing well, I would immediately leave and I'd respec just to prove them wrong. And that's how I went from Unholy to Frost. That's how I went from two-handed Frost to dual-wield Frost. Then I went from dual-wield Frost to Blood. Then I went from regular Blood to armor-piercing Blood every single time because someone was like, well, it's only because that one's flavor of the month. I'm like, okay, motherfucker.
I think man.
I'll name it. Name another spec. I'll still out-damage you. And this is getting away from my point. So we had another Death Knight join at one point, and I was the only person that voted against allowing him into the guild because I thought his name was dumb.
Oh my god.
I thought he had the stupidest name in the fucking universe. And so I was like, nope, just on that, on principle. We were in an RP server. I'm like, on principle, I cannot vote for this person. He became one of my best friends in the guild.
Oh my god. Jesus.
And that became a thing later. I'm like, remember that time that I vehemently disagreed with you joining our guild?
Oh my god.
What was his name? Death by Pizza.
What? If you ballsy enough to reply for raid groups with that kind of a name, I would just accept him. Shit. And
I was like, nope, absolutely not. And he's like, and they're like, well, if we have too many Death Knights, he has a druid as well named Life by Pizza. And I'm like, nope, veto, fucking veto. I do not want this person in my guild.
Wow, that's crazy. How did you end up playing with Euro_VT? I've never seen a dumber name in my life. Haha. Haha.
I think it's your charming personality.
What was it even? Actually, wait. What's the first time? Oh, that's. Oh my god, I'm literally the one who reminded you of this. I was trying to remember. When's the first time that we played the game together? It was like, oh, that's right.
Was it courtesy of Toaster?
Quackany, actually.
Was it Quacka? Was our first stream wasn't the dramatic reading stream, was it?
It was. That was actually the very first stream that we had.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. That was the very first time that we ever played together. We just ended up streaming for like 9 fucking hours, reading like questionable, satirical scripts off of like, not even scripts. They were literally articles off of like the hard drive mag. With those egregious looking titles.
That was a phenomenal stream. That was a phenomenal stream. No, well, and y'all have heard this. So Yura's chat's probably heard this as well. I've said this. I totally found Yura's channel before we knew each other, and was just like scrolling the fucking directory one night and discovered like some Yura solo matches. I think you were on Broken Moon. I want to say you were at Promenade, and I remember you running for your life under Promenade, and like just going like. Multiple, like, barely escaped. Panicking as you went. And I was just taken aback by your presence.
Me running and screaming away from the promenade actually sounds like something that would definitely happen. Something that happened many times during that season.
It was incredibly intimidating.
Intimidating?
Me as a young fledgling pre-debut, I was like, oh man. The VTubers in this town are good. I got a lot to live up to.
What in the gosh darn? I ain't do shit. I ain't do nothing. It is definitely a tactical retreat. Oh, it was definitely a tactical. A tactical retreat with the least amount of tact possible. But yeah. I was trying to run for my life.
Have a good night, John. Yeah, I'm with Zuffins. Really sorry that Yura banned you. Oh, her mouth's moving. I think she's throwing a tantrum.
Huh?
She's gone. We've lost her. Huh? Oh no. I want to be good at this 30-30 so fucking bad.
Huh?
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 Whoa.
Huh?
What was that?
I don't know. My villager Minecraft impression.
You gargled.
Oh, I don't know how I did that one.
I can't. I've always been a fan of the pure BD craft where they turn them all into Star Wars NPCs. So most of the villagers are like Jawas, but now they've added Gungans and a number of other races depending on what biome you're in.
Absolutely fantabulous. I want to play the Disney add-on.
Disney?
Yeah, there's the Disney World add-on for Minecraft and it looks fucking awesome.
What? What do you do in it?
You can go on rides and you can like get a little autograph book that you can like get all the Disney character NPCs to like sign your little autograph book in. And you can like explore around the park and find that stuff. It's really cool.
Wait. So you're not... Go ahead.
I can hear the gears turning in your head, but go on.
You're not in the world of Disney, like adventuring through all of the different locations. You're at a theme park as a fan?
Yeah.
Why?
It's so cute though.
Why wouldn't you want to go like be Elsa rather than go get a Minecraft Elsa's autograph. What? Who's here for that gameplay?
What? Okay, listen, Melly. Not everybody can just go, well, what, I want to be Catalyst. I want to just log into, I just want to log into Apex Legends and literally be the character. Well, not all of us have a luxury, okay? Just give it to us, goddammit.
If you wanted my autograph, you could just ask for it. It's a little scratchy. My handwriting sucks.
Oh,
we all connect with Yura more than Melly at the moment. What? What? Huh? Huh?
Got him. Fucking got him.
What? What?
I'm just saying that not everybody has a luxury of literally being a fucking character that you're, you know, that, I don't know, I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
Listen, I've been a character as long as I've been around.
I shudder to think of what anything voiced by me would sound like.
We can fix that.
Oh, no way. I said I shudder to think of it. If I actually hear it, I might never get a wink of sleep again, knowing that my voice is out there for the world to hear like that.
I've played some weird fucking characters.
Imagine if I voice a thing in a game and the only thing I say is
I mean, depending on the
show
game.
my friends and be like, guys, that's me. That's me. I only have like one line, but that's me. Okay, waiting for it, Yura. What? That doesn't even sound like you. What are you talking about? What? Wait, did it already happen? Oh, wait.
Let me tell you a story.
It would go exactly like that.
Let me tell you a story
Regardless.
of what the fuck was that anime called? Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle. We all auditioned for it. I knew I didn't have a shot in hell of getting the princess because I have a lower voice. So I was aiming for the boys. And I was cast as like a character named Waker. And in the story of the game, in the story of the show, you've got this sleeping princess who ends up abducted by the monsters, but she's like such a diva that she ends up kind of taking over the place, and they all wait on her, like hand and foot, or whatever the phrase is. And then you've got the heroes, who's a party of like 2 or 3, who are going to try and save her, not realizing that she's like having the time of her life over there. And I was cast as a character, one of the 3 heroes, with a name I didn't recognize, didn't know which one of them it was. I hadn't like looked into the show too much. What you usually do sometimes if the show already has a Japanese version is you hop over to Anime News Network. And this is like you if you're in, me, Insecure. And you see if it's in bold. Because if your character's name is in bold, that means you're one of the leads. That's how they classify them.
Okay.
Or, significant enough. And
The main character.
And it was bold. And I was like,
Ooh.
oh.
Ooh.
And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I must be like either like the boy with the shield or the caster next to him. I wouldn't be that third one. That third one doesn't speak. But like, I'm definitely like either the main one or like, knowing my luck, I'm probably like the second in command who says like one thing like every once in a while. Nope. I was the third one who doesn't speak. And every 2 or 3 sessions, every 2 or 3 sessions, I'd go in because there would be like a gasp or a react. And my whole session would be me going like, and then we're getting blasted and they just want me to go, and that would be the entire session and I'd go home. And then I'd go in the next time, they'd be like, okay, there's a notice. So I just go, huh? Or like a surprise. And then I'd go home. And so I had a bolded name and I was considered one of the leads because I had the most screen time alongside the 2 other characters. But I didn't say anything. I just breathed once in a while. So literally, like, that whole roll was me going, the end. You can go home. That's it. That's it for the day.
Oh my god. Huh. Well, I'll let you know once I'm a famous voice actress who, but my only selling point is as I go into animes to go every now and then.
You know, it's more likely than you think.
That's terrifying. I don't want my hair to be over the chair like that. Oh man. Actually, that'd be super on brand for me. Who am I fucking kidding? Oh man.
This was the character. Here's the best part. I'll put it in Discord.
Okay.
There you are.
Hi, hit me.
Oh no, where is it? Come on. That was them. What am I about to say?
Did they even show their face?
No! They didn't even have a face! This was me!
They don't even have a face? How are they made? What?
I was this asshole! Faceless!
What the heck?
Fucking lead. Great job, Melly. Great job, Melly. Good girl, Melly. Good girl. You did it. You did it. Look at you. You did it.
Great take, Melly. You can go home now.
At least I was still breathing. Yeah. It was fucking hilarious.
At least it was a paid role, question mark?
Oh, it was. Yeah, I got paid. That's always the silver lining. Like, you go in, like...
A couple of gasps, and then that's just...
Really, the silver lining is we get minimums, which means if they only need us for 5 minutes, they're still paying me for 2 hours. So, like, they're lost.
Hell yeah. Hey. Honestly, if I ever got any sort of role where I just run in there and go, I would just hope that they just look at the credits, but don't actually check out the show. Like, please, God, for the life of me, don't check out the show.
You get the Shrek, like, Chris Rock treatment where you go in, you give them one, and they give you $1 million.
Ooh, that'd be great, but it's not gonna happen because they can't advertise your _VT as, Because if you say that you had Chris the Rock Johnson in your movie, that's advertising in itself, kinda, I was in the movie. Wow, that's crazy. That's Chris the Rock Johnson. That's crazy.
You're the Rock VT.
I am not the Rock of anything. Thank you very much. But I am a VTuber.
I know that life. Y'all lured me in and locked the door, and I'm stuck here now.
Oh, what did I do again?
I was lured into the VTubing dungeon.
Hey, you're here to say sorry about that.
I know. They don't let me leave.
Yep.
They're slowly dripping in the juice. You know, the juice.
A juice.
The juice that turns you into a VTuber.
Most people call those potions around here.
It's an IV. It takes effect very slowly, so you gotta let me cook.
It's a drip? What the heck?
Yeah.
Potions sure are different these days.
Ever so slowly. That's why, see, you've heard me doing the Yura. It's not my fault. I didn't ask for this life.
Doing the Yura? What? I think it's also a VTubing thing and more like a... It's like the Uritis,
Shit.
The Uritis is a potent one indeed.
Going to draw out some loot.
Well, this is...
one where you just talk like this.
There can't possibly be a role out there that would actually want me to talk like that, though. There's no fucking way. Who would want that in their fucking... I can't even think of a role that would even use that. Oh my god. And if such a role existed, I'd be more horrified at the actual piece of media. fake old, dude.
Geriatric Man 2. There's a sequel? Wait a minute.
Oh my god, it's over for me, guys. A claim to fame as a voice actress is just me. I'm just gonna do
I'm here for my
and like a side quest on like some shitty gacha nobody's ever heard of in their life or something.
Suddenly thinking of that old man from The Simpsons that like drops his pants and sings.
What the fuck? That sounds illegal?
There's a joke in one of The Simpsons, and I think he's been in the show like 18 times since then, but there was a... More than one. There's one classic old man. And the joke was, like, at the time, like, I think when one of the first times they introduced him was, Homer Simpson was, like, out of a job, and he was, like, something like, we'll drop pants and sing for food.
What the
And he's like, but no one's giving me any business. And someone's like, well, the guy next to you is doing it for free.
Wait, you want what? I'm an old man that drops my pants and sings for free? What?
Would you like to be? I don't...
No?
I think you're the one that made the connection that it was meant to be you. I was just, it just came to mind. That's it.
Wow. I'm not only aging from Apex, I'm also dropping my pants and singing for free. That's insane. What? Oh man.
Son of a...
The Simpsons a future predicting cartoon shit. Is this actually my future? It's over for me. Oh man, it's actually over for me.
It is over for me.
Remind me. Nope, I shouldn't bring this up.
What's up?
It would be way too typical.
Really?
What is going
Well-
on with that?
Might as well bring up the subject. Worst case, we just go, nah, never mind. Let's move on.
So, everyone laughs at me whenever I bring up playing Left 4 Dead. Because I love it so much, and then I'm like, we should play, and everyone's like, haha, and I'm like, no, really, though. But we're fucking doing it. Hollow and I, and we're gonna have guests. And
We
you
can
should be
play
one
it.
of them.
As long as a time is set up in advance, I can definitely make it. I'm sure.
I don't know what's going on there. Clearly when you're on a zip line, it like absolutely makes your aim horrendous. So when I first jump on the zip line and I aim for that thing, the bullet goes like 12 miles to the left.
Gotta love Apex bullet physics. Haha. I would face. God's gift to mankind, clearly.
Because everyone's played Left 4 Dead. Yeah, well, you need to start playing the customs. Get on my level. Play some customs. There's amazing third-party content out there. It's just waiting for you. Supple and what? Go ahead.
Go on.
Supple and wanting. Horny and desperate. Waiting for you. And they're single. Yeah. Horny, single, Left 4 Dead content is waiting for you.
What kind of advertisers have we been getting? Oh my god. What?
My chat's telling me to stop. I'm in trouble.
I'm just eating my honey pancakes over here. Don't even mind me. I'm in my lane, chilling, eating pancakes, questioning what's being said, but not worrying too much about it because I'm eating my pancakes.
You love Alfred E2, but why not Black 4 Blood? I haven't tried it yet, and I'd heard a lot of things about it not really living up to its legacy. But I would try it. It's a little easier when you have a shotgun to hit pinpoint targets. I don't know. I'm curious if any of you in chat have tried it. We've had this conversation before, but I'm curious what y'all think about it. I just remember a lot of people talking about how like the director doesn't really work the way the director worked in Left 4 Dead, and like Left 4 Dead models had like 100,000 different ways that they could be like maimed based on how they were damaged, and everything sort of dies with a static death animation in Back 4 Blood. And for a game that looks so good, it's a shame that it doesn't. It feels like it was missing a little love. But I would absolutely try it. I've said forever, the Left 4 Dead 3 that I want a Left 4 Dead 3. And I want it to be a Left 4 Dead 3 that lets you design your own character and has voice packs. Like, regular voice packs that they continue to put out. I'd love to see that shit, where you can, like, essentially design your own survivor.
I feel like you could do a similar thing. Like, I mean, you can mod cosmetics for sure. Left 4 Dead 2. I don't know. I just feel like they're never gonna let go of the Left 4 Dead. Actually, I think it's just gonna be 2 forever. ammo, but who knows?
Yeah, I haven't played. Someone just mentioned Half-Life Alyx and Valve. I haven't played Half-Life Alyx because I don't have any VR anything. God, I'd love to actually. I know that they probably won't do it because they said that the VR-ness is like integral to the experience. But I would love to play through that somehow without VR at some point. But I know they were like, it's like built entirely around the concept of VR, so that they would never. At least right now, they're saying that they wouldn't do like just a mouse and keyboard version.
Right.
Sadly, I'm like all day, every day PC gamer. I don't have consoles. I don't have VR. I don't have a Switch. A Switch could be fun for traveling, though.
Yeah. I think if I had to recommend any console out of all those, I'd say just like a Switch. Because I think a Switch has like the most like I think it has the most exclusives with like the most like consistent quality, I would say, for each exclusive. And most of them don't have a good chance of coming to. There's a high percentage of them that just never come to the PC ever. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so excited for The Last of Us, and I don't know, has it been fixed yet? I heard the PC release was how you say not good, and that bums me out to hear. I'd love to see it. I would love to see it improve though, because like I never finished it because I'm fickle as hell with single player games sometimes. But you know, everyone trashed Andromeda when it first came out, and I picked it up like a year later when they'd gotten all the kinks worked out, and it was wonderful. I need to finish it, but it was wonderful. It's a bummer that we have this industry that lives by these rigid deadlines and would rather release something on time that is broken as fuck than just get it right and then release it.
Yeah, it's also pretty troubling just because of like, I think a big part of it is also the significant amount of work that goes into the assets of games now. So we get like, you have to work a lot harder for like amounts of content, I suppose, which is really sad. I don't know, it fucking boggles my mind that like, so I've been playing Halo on my stream recently, right? And it fucking boggles my mind that they had to split off 3 into Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODS. Like, they had so much fucking content planned for the original game that they had to split it up into 2 fucking separate amazing games. Which are both amazing in their own right, right? Like, that boggles my fucking mind. That's, like, unheard of now. You know, like, even games from, like, really good, like, reputable, like, you know, groups of devs and all that, like, even reputable games now, they don't release whole. Like, I think Monster Hunter is actually Monster Hunter Rise is a great fucking example. Like, it's an amazing fucking game, but holy shit, that base game did not release as a complete game. That was, like, not even half the size of like a normal, like, not even half the amount of content that like previous Monster Hunter titles had, you know? And it's just like so fucking tragic. I mean, all of what we got was very quality, don't get me wrong, but like, Jesus Christ, it was just like, having like the days of having like an adequate amount of content, and it's where the expectation isn't just, oh well, added in later with DLC, is just, I don't know. It's definitely a change that nobody's very fond of, except for people who benefit from the money involved. But you know,
I can't. Yeah, I can't blame them with stuff like. I mean, you know, you get stuff like Final Fantasy VII, and I kind of can't blame them because of how low fidelity the game was before.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean but like it kind of applies in a grander scale to like pretty much all games, right? Because games these days in general, on average, outside of maybe some indie games, like, and even the standard for indie games is kind of going up, you know.
Oh, but I mean, I at the same time, I guarantee, like, especially if you had like really fond memories of the original Final Fantasy VII, I bet when that first one came out, I bet there were a lot of people disappointed that they were like, oh wait, that's it? We're not even done with Midgar yet? Wait, how long do I have to wait for the rest of it?
Or even if you have no expectations, I mean, like, games where you just play it and you're just like, wait, that's it? And you're not gonna get the full release of the game until like 4 years after the initial release. I'm looking at you, Baldur's Gate 3. Oh my god. Great fucking game, but Jesus Christ, like, I'm really gonna have to wait this many fucking years like I did for Divinity 2? Like, Jesus.
I never finished Divinity.
Oh, it's so fucking... I have like 300 hours in that game.
I started it. I started the first one, Original Sin. I never finished that, and I haven't played Divinity 2 yet.
I think you don't have to play them in order.
Hold on.
It's amazing standalone.
I have to mute for a second. I recorded something like 3 Christmases ago. I wonder if it's still here. Hold on a second.
Okay.
This'll be worth it, I swear.
I believe it.
Okay, this is going to take longer than I thought. Hold. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. Bear with me.
I'm hanging in there. Oh. Wait. Also, like, just a heads up. It is technically 4 a.m. for me, so I'm gonna be looking to grab some shut eye in a bit here, but I'll wait for this though at least. Just wanted to give the heads up so it's not just out of nowhere. Like, man.
Of course. All right, so this was in 2017. This was my review of Divinity Original Sin. Are you ready?
Oh boy.
Oh, wait. My chat will hear this, but I need to turn off the audio quality isn't great, so I have to turn off crisp or you won't hear it.
Oh,
here we go.
I'll turn on your stream. I'll turn on your stream.
No, it's all right.
Why, don't tell me you've forgotten everything that happened last time in our entire history. Why, it's woven into the tapestry. Let me read you all of it right now.
That was my experience with Divinity Original Sin.
What do you mean there's this gigantic gold puddle that's literally mountains and mountains of gold and only has like 13 pieces of silver in there, huh?
Every single time you'd get there and they'd be like, a new tapestry. Let us look within the threads and discover our history anew. And I'm like, skip.
It's not as bad as when you get to the point of, I yield to no one.
Suddenly,
I yield to none.
Suddenly I feel like I'm like watching, I've been like sat down in front of like a Gundam wing marathon, and he's like, in the 15th century, in the 44th colony, in the Tau Ceti system, in the 13th era of the dynasty of the I'm like, oh no.
I gotta fucking... Honestly speaking, like, Divinity... Ugh. It's a really fucking... It's not a perfect game, but Jesus fucking Christ, I personally had a lot of fun with it. I found I found it pretty great, but I do think that the game's experience is like almost. It's not complete if you don't play with the pre-made characters that they have for you. Honestly, like the actual like characters that are actually involved in the story, because for some reason the custom ones are kind of garbage. So if you go with your own custom character, it gets pretty boring for some reason. I don't know.
Really?
Yes,
I
because
definitely went with my own custom character.
yeah, it's like they don't. Nobody's gonna tell you this except for people who've already played the game before. But
Hey, HR.
if you want the full experience of the game, you need to go in there with a character that they have like already like things written out for, because the custom character lines are so fucking generic and like very boring that it doesn't really give you the full experience. In my opinion.
So it's beyond just your name, like whole
It is
fucking elements
far
of the
beyond-
story.
It seeps into like almost every aspect of the gameplay and like literally
no.
everything with the story. Like your interaction will be different. People will hate you or love you for different reasons. You'll have different dialogue options.
What?
You get different responses. You even get different items.
What?
It's like I can't promise you this obviously because the game is so fucking long. But like I'm just gonna say that if you ever get around to playing Divinity 2 again, like please like use like I can recommend you some characters because like the game is, without spoiling anything, it's effectively about like Fane and Red Prince more or less. Well, less Red Prince and more Fane. The game is effectively just revolving around like this one character, Fane. You've got to have him in your party for your first playthrough, in my opinion, because the story's just not complete without him.
I clearly got the watered down experience. Look, I was playing with Zuffins. Zuffins wanted to play a girl too. We were at an impasse.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few girls in there. There's like Losa, you can play a Sabil. Those are two excellent fucking characters, by the way. They have so much dialogue and backstory. It's so fucking good.
I do not remember having that many options for prefab characters in Divinity Original Sin.
Yeah, there's a few female characters, I think. Losa and Sabil are definitely, are they the only ones? But they're really fucking good, though. I would highly recommend giving them a go at least once.
I have to load that game up again and check it out. I would absolutely try it again. I tend to just get fickle. I tend to get fickle with like offline games sometimes, where like suddenly. Nomadrix thinks that you're talking about. Wait.
Original Sin 2. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking about 2, not 1.
Okay.
Because 2 is like it's more popular one.
Divinity Original Sin. I had a special edition of it, but that's still the first one, right?
I believe that was the first one, yeah.
Which one did I get, Source Hunter? Did I?
The things I would say to just go, I would play through 2 with you. It's such a fucking long game that I can't really commit to it, unfortunately, but.
Yeah.
It's also
well, I already get shit because I picked up Mass Effect again, and my chat's convinced I'm going to be playing a Mass Effect trilogy for the next, like, 6 years.
Yeah. 2 is just insane. I could speed it up for us, but, like, it's still going to be pretty fucking long. Just by virtue of all the dialogue options. There's so many of them, and they are all different depending on who you pick from, like, the characters that they give you. They all have their own stories, and they all have different dialogue. You don't get the full experience if you don't play, like, the game at least twice, in my opinion.
You'd think, Gray, that the focus should be on your choices as a character. Like,
but that's the thing. You get more. That's the worst part.
Can you imagine playing a Zelda game and, like, if you don't name your character Link, you show up and they're like, "You, elf, who are you? Doesn't matter. Take this sword." You finally rescue the princess, and she's like, "Thanks, whoever you are. I'd love to be friends."
Also,
except for that one where they were
Grey
brother
the
and
Gish is
sister
correct.
for some reason.
Grey the Gish is correct. The pre-mades are strictly better than the custom-made PC because they have backstories and quests. Yes. They have so many things attached to the characters that they already have.
That's so dumb.
It is. Really,
Wait, so why even let you design a character?
I don't know. I think a large part of that is actually due to like the D&D focused mode that because they actually had like a separate gameplay mode in Divinity Original Sin 2, which I think is unique to that game.
Oh no.
Where you could literally turn it into like a D&D session with the way they let you like customize and like kind of homebrew your own like campaign, you know? I want to say that customizing your own character was basically for that, but
these assholes. See, now I feel like Divinity Originally a Sin was like a game made by that one D&D player who's like not the DM, but who's the player that's like, I mean, you know, we're in the desert. Shouldn't we be rolling constitution checks or something to make sure that we don't dehydrate? You know?
Excuse me.
Don't you think we should be making sure that like we're not dehydrating? I don't know if I'm the only one here that feels like we should be counting our ammunition.
motherfucker, you're not the DM. Shut the fuck up. Let the players play. Damn it. I've never actually played a.
Hi, I know I'm not the DM, but Yura, my fellow player, what is the weight limit on your character? I'm just curious.
Oh my goodness, this is actually like the nerdy emoji.
Actually, I would like to remind everybody that we shouldn't have unrealistic weight expectations on character.
You're like, oh, shut the fuck up, dude. Let us fucking play the game. Oh. It's actually a real actually moment for like, shut the fuck up, okay? We're trying to have a good time here.
Well, since technically it's not Thane, then that means that they wouldn't have those relationships or that backstory, which means that we can't really realistically within the canon of the game allow just a custom player access to that story thread, right? It wouldn't make any sense.
Well, actually, according to my handbook of the
No, I can't keep doing this, man. It's just
Let people enjoy the game how they want. What is so fucking hard about that?
I don't fucking know. Oh,
good lord. Ah.
Speaking of which, I should probably get ready to hop off here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Melly.
As long I'm just grateful you don't seem to hate me yet.
Of course I don't. I'm just mildly fearful sometimes, but that's a whole different thing. Hey, of course not. Of
Wait,
course.
what? Why? Why are
It
you
might have to do with
fearful?
It might have to do with something about the collection eyes you were sharpening earlier at the start of the stream when I was giving my questionable take on your name. But you know,
This one?
what are you? Whoa! Whoa! Hey! You put that down before you have to get more pillowcases later, okay? Are you okay?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't want. You weren't ready for. Okay, I can put it away. I can put it away.
Or please tell me that's like a clothespin or something. Like.
Oh no, it's a knife.
What? Is it really?
Snicked sound plays.
I'm scared, Chad, I'm scared.
She assumes that this would be used to do something other than protect her. See? She forgot. She hasn't been paying attention.
Help me.
Quest failed. She didn't remember that I said I play tank.
Chat, help me! Chat, help me!
If she remembered that I said I was a tank, she would understand she's not in danger.
Chad, help me. Alrighty, guys. But yeah, I should actually get some shot. So thank you again for having me. Poke me.
You dork.
Poke me soon, okay?
I would like that. When's our next matches? I'm gonna do that too.
We gotta get some more matches.
Fine, I can't wait. I'm excited. And we can also play things that, God, that hurts. We also play things that aren't Apex if you want to.
No, just poke me.
I'm gonna put the content warning blood back on the screen.
What? Why? Where is it? Where would it be coming from? What the heck?
Everywhere.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up from the call here, but I'm gonna.
Okay, I love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out. Bye, yours, chat.
Of course, bye. Bye, Melly chat. Good night, everybody.
Night, night.
Night, night.
Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. I like that, Yura. She's a good egg. She's good people. I'm like a little kid in kindergarten, like that your mom told you about. I only tease her because I like her. Hey, Jelly. How are you doing? Your PC set up? Are we gaming soon then? Not now though, but soon. I hope so. I want to play with you. Yeah, if you need anything, let me know. I'm gonna gush. I'm gonna gush a little bit. I'm so happy I'm doing ranked. I'm so worried about letting my friends down, but I'm so happy they're having me along. I'm so happy I get to play with Yura too. I really like Yura a lot. It was kind of accidental, and then I realized we have similar senses of humor, and my heart sings whenever we play together. So I'm very happy we've been able to do this this series and keep playing, because she's a good friend. And I'm insecure, and I constantly worry that my friends are angry at me. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. I had a whole lot of fun. Please, also, I think all my mods are asleep. But please go follow Yura. She deserves all the love and support you got. She's super, super fucking cool and working really hard. And she's going to do amazing things on this platform. And please throw some love to Colorfinger next time you see on. Actually, I'll tell you what. I'll shout out Colorfinger too. Colorfinger streams pretty rarely, but if you ever see him on, he plays piano and he sings and it's amazing. Like, keep your eye on his platform because he's super cool. And just because I can, you should also follow Jelly Donut because she's super amazing and she's pushing for partner and she needs love and support as well. I think I'm probably going to take off tomorrow. If that changes, you'll hear on Discord. If you're here for the first time and you liked the vibe, follow me here and on Twitter, and feel free to join my Discord because that's always like the #1 place you'll hear about when I go live. Other than that, what am I doing tomorrow? I've got some auditions to do. I want to do some prep work for my debut because I've got stuff I need to take care of. And we'll probably be back on Monday. I'm trying to organize a collab with Rochi, who visited the other night, but it turns out we're on crazy different time zone schedules, so we got to figure it out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I want to get her in here soon because she seems really cool. She's got really great energy, and I want her to become friend of channel. New friends, new friends. All right, let's go say hi to Ruben. How about Ruben is playing Overwatch. Ruben's sarcasm is super, super cool, and we're gonna collab at some point too. I just know it. Looks like he's playing with Evil Toaster and someone else. So we'll go say hi. All right, my loves. Thank you so much again. I love you. I love you. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful night. Thanks for spending this time with me. I will see you soon. Can't wait for the next one.